Hi, my name is Adam Fisk. I work on Lantern, which is a censorship circumvention tool that's used in the most censored regions in the world. So Russia, China, Iran, Myanmar. We just do a bunch of different things to sneak through government firewalls. My background is all in peer-to-peer from the early days. So I was the lead engineer on LimeWire, so wrote a lot of the code for LimeWire way back in the day. And from those days, I guess I learned one, sort of the power of peer-to-peer decentralized technology, and two, sort of the power of small teams. So we were, I think, from a different era in technology where at different points it was probably like 5 or 6 of us just coding away in a room. So just learn the power of how a really small team could have a huge impact. I think we had 200 million downloads at the end of the day, something like that. And in those days, I also started thinking about how you could use similar approaches to bypass censorship. So how you could use decentralized technology to bypass censorship, and came to learn that it was really not that simple. So I think decentralization is sort of one key ingredient for creating systems that are resilient to like state-based censorship, but it's not sort of enough. So in a world where censors can see every single network packet coming in and out of the country, you need to be able to deal with the identification of your protocol, for example. So with Lantern, we do a bunch of different things there. I would say the main foundation that we build on is this notion of collateral freedom. So this is this idea that you want to build resilient systems on top of protocols that are fundamentally too costly for censors to block. So TLS would be one example, DNS would be another example. So build things that sort of hide in the sea of network traffic in such a way that they're hard to distinguish from things that censors sort of fundamentally don't want to block. So BitTorrent would actually be an example of that. Like in a lot of these countries, there's less concern with Western copyright law. So BitTorrent is actually quite prevalent. So BitTorrent traffic is generally quite permitted. So we use BitTorrent for some things, but most of our stuff is based on these different network tricks for sneaking traffic in and out of the country. I think what the Hole Punch folks have done is really interesting there in terms of building I think a really robust tech stack to build on, and I'm very interested in starting to play with it. We don't use it right now, but just even like the way they're doing NAT and firewall traversal, the way they're using DHT-based rendezvous, I think is very cool and kind of the state of the art for what peer-to-peer is able to do today. And I think a lot of these things are things that we sort of dreamt of way back in the day in the LimeWire years. And it's cool to see some of those sort of like ideally architected solutions coming to fruition with what the Hole Punch folks are doing. So yeah, I guess on the peer-to-peer side, the other thing that we're working on is a thing called Unbounded. So this is the idea that you can run peer-to-peer based browser-based proxies to sort of crowdsource censorship circumvention. So this is a little widget or browser extension that you can embed into any website. So we have a couple partners who are embedding this right now, just like a couple lines of code to embed the ability for a visitor to that site to click a button and become this sort of instant proxy. So you can do that either as on a normal web browser and on desktop or on mobile. So the idea there again is just to sort of crowdsource circumvention. So for Lantern proper, we have something like 10,000 IP addresses globally in our infrastructure at any given time. The idea with Unbounded is that we ideally can provide tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of IP addresses that really complicate things for censors trying to block access. So that's one thing we're working on. It's also designed to be sort of agnostic to a tool, so it's not a Lantern specific thing, but it's a general stack that anyone can use to bypass censorship. So yeah, that's what we're up to. Check us out on unbounded.lantern.io or lantern.io. You can. I'm not super into social media myself, so I'm basically not on there. But yeah, you can sort of find me out there on the internet. Yeah, thanks so much.